Hello guys, welcome back. Let's add grasses to our environment. So if you notice, I have some grasses and flowers here. So I downloaded these grasses from Polyheaven. So if you need any of this, just go to Polyheaven to download yours. Or you can also create this in Blender. If you notice, these are just planes and images. You can either create yours or download from Polyheaven to make this quick. So I'm going to use particles for this. So I'm going to start with our grasses. So I've already added this in a collection. So if you have yours already, if you have downloaded yours, it must not necessarily look the same as mine. If you have yours, so you can add them in a collection by pressing M. Just select everything, holding Shift and press M. Add in a collection. Let's rename this to grass land grass landscape 2. So same for this one, you select everything and name it. So I name mine as grass flower. So select everything and add in a collection to make it easy. So I'm going to use particles to randomize these grasses and flowers on our scene. So okay, so I'm going to select the grass. Oops. So I'm going to select our plane. Then go to particles, add a particle system. Then here, go to here. Then let's reduce the length to 0.48. Okay. Switch to object mode so you see what you're doing. Then let's increase the number to 2000. You can go for something lower than this, but I just want to increase mine to 2000. Then let's go back to material view. Then let's go to render, change to collection. Go to render as collection. Then go to instance collection. Then select what you saved it with. So I'm going to type grass landscape 2. So I'm going to scale this in render. I'm going to scale this up. So let's scale it to 1.80, 1.800, 1.800. Then let's turn on advance. Go to turn on rotation. Then let's change this to Z. Let's go to vertex group and select our grass landscape. Remember, we selected these parts, we selected these areas and assigned a group on them on vertex. So let's randomize this. Let's go to seed. Let's randomize it to at least 65. Okay, that makes sense. Then let's do the same for our grasses, our flowers and grasses. So I'll select this and I'm going to duplicate it, Shift D to duplicate. So I'm going to move it somewhere here. I'm going to scale this out a little bit. That's too much. I'm going to bring it here, somewhere here. I think that's too much. So if you're doing this before putting this in a collection, make sure make sure you place your cursor here, shift select, place your cursor here, then go to object, set origin to 3D cursor. That way your grass will sit on your planes. So I'm going to shift this a little bit. Then let's duplicate again. Let's place this somewhere here. Oh, that's too small. Okay. Then let's do the same. Let's do the same. Shift D, let's duplicate, and let's keep that here. I think that's okay for now. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to shift right click. Then let's set origin to 3D cursor. So I'm going to add this in our scene. I'm going to randomize it on our scene. So I'm going to select our plane, go to particle system, add new particle. Let's name this big grass. Big grass. So let's change emitter to hair. Let's reduce the number to 40. Then let's reduce the length. Oops. Let's reduce the length. At least for now, let's reduce the length to 1.46. Then let's go to render and let's change path to objects. Then let's go to object, then go to instant object and select this pick dropper tool and select this big grass. So if you already have your own grass, you can do the same. So I'm going to turn on rotation. I'm going to turn on advance, then turn on rotation. Let's scale this up first in the Z axis. So I'm going to scale this in the Z axis, somewhere there. So I'm going to go to rotation. Then let's change this to X, global X. Then let's go to vertex. Let's go to vertex groups and let's select grass and grass landscape. That way it won't be on our path. So let's reduce the scale a little bit. I think that's way too much. Let's reduce the scale. Let's reduce the scale. Okay, I think that's not bad. But you can increase it more depending on how you want it. You can increase depending on how you want it. So I'm going to randomize this. Let me just give it 79. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm going to do the same for this too. I'm going to do the same for this. It's already in a collection. So I'm going to select our plane. Select our plane. Oh, let's name this grass. Big grass. So select our plane. Add a new particle system. Let's name it flower. Grass flower. Then let's change emitter to hair. Let's reduce the number. Let's increase the number to 2000. So you can, I think that's too much. Let's reduce the number to 600. I think 600 is okay. Then let's reduce the length down here. Okay, we'll still come back to that. Then let's change part to collection. Remember, it's in a collection. I put them in a collection. There are about 3 of them. So let's go to collection and let's go to instant collection. Let's select our grass flower. So I'm going to type grass flower, grass landscape, oops, grass flower. So it's here. So it's already on our scene. So I'll go to render. Let's scale this up. Go to vertex group. Let's select our selected area. So let's scale this up again. I think we can't really see that. So let's randomize this on our scene. Let's randomize this. Oops. Let's select our plane. And then let's go to location, rotation. Let's turn on advance and let's go to the rotation. Let's change this to Z. You see, it was upside down before. That way we get to set it, make it to be up. So let's reduce the scale. I think that's too much. Let's reduce the scale in render. Okay. I think that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay, let's add this to our scene. Let's add our big tree to our scene. So I'm going to duplicate this and bring it somewhere here. I don't want to use particles for this. I just want a little bit like 3 or 4, 5 or 6 on our scene. So let's duplicate and move here. And let's scale this up a little bit. Let's move this back and let's do duplicate again and move to somewhere there. And let's scale down. Then let's do that again, duplicate, and let's move to somewhere here. Let's move this in here a little bit. So let's do the same for Shift D. Let's move to the side. So I'm going to select this and let's move this back a little bit. So down here at the back, let's move this to the side and then Shift D to duplicate, and let's move this somewhere here. Shift D again to duplicate. So we can still adjust this as time goes on. So just to set this to at least here. Okay, this is not bad. This is not bad. Okay, let's add ground material to our ground. Let's add ground material. So I'm going to select this. So let's add ground material. So I'm going to select our plane, go to material properties, add a new material. So I'm going to select this and hold Shift Ctrl T to add a new material. So guys, I downloaded this material from Polyheaven. So if you need this material, you go to Polyheaven to download yours. The name is forest floor. So let's do the same for this plane right here. Let's apply the same material. So I'm going to name this forest floor. Forest. Oops. So I'm going to name this forest floor. So let's apply the same material for this. So I'll just search for forest floor. It's already here. Apply it. So if yours is not showing this way, you can use UV to unwrap it. You can do smart UV projects or just unwrap. Okay guys, so let's do the same for our steps. So I'm going to add a new material or material properties. So I'm going to bring this here and I'm going to do the same. Hold Shift Ctrl T to add material for our steps. So I'm going to select my textures. I think that's looking cool. So let's do the same. If yours is not looking this way, you can UV unwrap yours. So let's do the same. I'm going to select this stone here. Then let's apply the same material. So I'm going to name this steps. Let's select our stone. I'm going to name these steps. I'm going to apply the same material. Steps. Okay, I think that's looking good. So guys, if yours is not looking this way, you can UV unwrap yours. Go to render view to see what we are actually doing. I'm going to add a HDRI to our scene. So let's go to render view. So I'm going to change this to 3D viewport. Then let's press Z to go to render view. Okay guys, this is how our scene looks like. So let's add a camera to this scene. I'm going to press Shift A, add camera. See where it is. Let's move this camera somewhere here. And let's move it back. And let's rotate it a little bit. Let's move this up. Let's move our camera back. And press O, snap camera. Then let's use fly mode. Move back, keep moving back to get what we're actually looking for. Okay, I think that makes sense. So let's snap the camera on render view. Let's go to render view and press O, snap camera. So I'm going to add a HDRI to our scene. So I'm going to add a HDRI to our scene. So if you don't have a HDRI, so you can just go to color, click on this yellow circle, then yellow button, then you can select this sky texture. It will still give you what you want. So if you notice, this is how our doors and windows are showing. So I'm going to turn off this. I'm going to turn off the collection for our door cuts. Select the door cuts. Let's turn off the collection. So I'm going to turn off this collection for our door. That way we get to see our door. You have to turn off the collection for the boolean. So I'm going to select our window cuts. Oh, that's not in a collection. So let's press M to put that in a collection. Window cuts. So let's turn off the collection for our window. That way you get to see our windows. So I'm going to reduce the strength of our word. I'm going to reduce, I think it's too much. I think to 0.6. 0.6 is okay. So I'm going to add an image at the back of our plane. So let's add an image. Shift A, then go to image as plane. So this is the image. Alright guys, I downloaded this image from Pizza Bay. So if you need it, you can go to Pizza Bay and download it. I'm going to show you how it's going to look on our environment. So I'm going to place Shift S to place cursor to world origin. Shift S to place selection to cursor. Then I'll go to view. Let's bring this out. Yeah, somewhere there. Let's bring it back instead. Let's bring this back instead. Then let's go to front view and let's scale this S to scale. Let's scale this up. Let's scale this up a little bit. And let's bring this back a little bit. And let's scale it again. You should be looking at your render. You should be looking at how it's looking in your render view. Okay, I think that is cool. So let's increase this. Let's duplicate this. Shift D to duplicate. Then let's place this here, somewhere here. Let's do the same. Shift D to duplicate. Let's place this to somewhere here. I think that's not bad. Okay. Okay, this is how our scene is looking in render view. Okay guys, I'm going to add some images as plane on our scene. So Shift A to add. Oops, before that, let's select this image and let's go to properties data. Let's remove the specular to 0. Okay, I think that looks better. So let's add some images as plane to this. So I'm going to add an image as plane by pressing Shift A and add image as plane. So select my image. So I'm going to scale this. So let me do this in object mode. So I'm going to scale this up. Let's move this to the side. Scale this up. So this is just an image. So you can download a PNG image and use it to beautify your scene. So let's move this to the side. So I'm going to scale this up somewhere here. Let's bring this up a little bit. Okay, so you can, if you don't like I can still change this image if I want to, depending on how, if it's giving me what I want. So I'm going to add another image as plane by pressing Shift A, add image as plane. So I added two images here, so I'm going to scale them up. So I'm going to select this. Let's move this here. And let's move this at the back. Oops. Let's bring this up. I think I want this to be here. And let's move this. Let's bring this up. And let's bring this back a little bit. Let's bring this back to somewhere there. Let's scale this a little bit. So let's turn off the specular for all of them. Scale this in a little bit. Let's move this to the back. Let's bring this down. Let's move this in the x-axis. Then let's scale this out a little bit and let's bring this down. Let's scale it out. Let's bring this down. Let's bring it out a little bit. Let's scale it. S to scale. Okay, I think that's not bad. Okay, I think that's not looking bad. So I'm going to select this. I see where it is. It's not on our camera. So let's bring this in here. So select this, do the same. Bring this, oops, in here. Select this. Okay. Bring this here. So let's select this. Bring this in. Same for this. Oops, okay. I think where it is okay. So let's duplicate this again. Shift D to duplicate. Then let's move this in the y-axis to somewhere there. Okay, I think that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, let's duplicate this. Let's duplicate this. Shift D to duplicate. Then let's bring this to somewhere here. Bring this somewhere here. Oops. Okay, I think that's not bad. Then let's scale this down. X to scale down. Then let's move this back a little bit. Okay, I think that's not bad. We're not done. We'll still make it make sense. So guys, let's add light to our scene. So let's just do a very quick one. Let's add light to our scene. Okay, before that, let's bring this out. Let's bring this out a little bit. Let's move this here. Okay, and then let's bring this back a little bit. Let's bring this out a little bit. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm going to move this out for now to see what we're doing. So let's add light to our scene to see how our work really look like. So I'm going to shift S to place cursor toward origin, then shift A to add light. I'm going to add an area light. So I'm going to bring it up. So I'm going to go to Z as top view. Let's bring this to somewhere here. Oops. Oops. Let's bring this back here. That's okay. Then let's bring this, let's select our light. Okay, let's select our light. And let's rotate our light to here, somewhere there is okay. So let's go to object data properties, light object data properties. Let's change the color to a little bit orange. Let's change the color. So I'm going to increase the power to 2000. Then let's increase the size a little bit. I think this is too small. Let's increase the size. Then let's select this and let's move this back a little bit and let's rotate this. So I'm going to duplicate this, shift D to duplicate. Then let's move this to the side. Go to the view. Oops. Okay. Then let's rotate. Then let's reduce the size for this. So I'm going to bring this down to somewhere here. Then let's reduce this to 300, and let's reduce this. So let's make it darker a little bit. Then let's go to top view. Then let's rotate that to be at least somewhere here. Let's move that to the side. So I'll select this and let's duplicate and let's move this back here. Then let's rotate this. So let's change the color to blue. Let's give it the background color. This blue is not bad. So let's bring this up. Let's bring this up. Let's rotate this a little bit. Let's bring this to the center. And let's rotate this. A little bit. So I'm going to add another light. So I'll see Shift A to add light. So I'm going to add a spotlight. So I'm going to bring this up to somewhere here. So let's increase the size, the spot size, I think somewhere there. Then let's bring this out in a little bit. Let's bring this in a little bit. I think that's too much. So let's bring this in a little bit. So let's bring this back. Position this, change the color to between blue and green. I think that's about between blue and green. So I'm going to increase the power to 1000. 1000, that's not bad. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, let's leave this like this for now. We'll come back to it. Before that, let's correct this mistake. We mistakenly duplicated this 2 times. So let's select the inner, let's select the inner mesh. G to grab, S to delete. Okay, I think that's looking okay. Alright guys, in the next video, we are going to arrange our scene. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope to see you there.